Well, President Obama begins a week-long international trip tonight that will take him to Italy and Ghana. But the first stop and the main focus of the trip will be Moscow. The president is hopeful he can reset tense Russian-U.S. relations on nuclear arms and other issues. But our next guest is warning this morning that Washington should not fall into that trap. He is one of the highest KGB spies to ever defect to the United States, and he's the subject of the best-selling book, Comrade J, The Untold Secrets of Russia's Master Spy in America After the End of the Cold War. Sergei Tretyakov joins us now from Tampa. Sergei, welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. You know, the president will be meeting with the top Moscow officials. He'll be meeting with Vladimir Putin and others. Look, your words of warning. You've said America's naive about Russia, that we think the Cold War is over. You think that they're still trying to destroy us.
People asking me all the time this question, Sergei, what's happened after the end of the Cold War? And I'm always asking them, who told you that the Cold War was ever over? It transforms, it's like a virus. In former Russian military doctrine, there was a definition of potential main enemy, adversary, United States, NATO, and China. In today's doctrine, and especially in a doctrine of modern Russian intelligence, there is a definition of main targets. It's United States, NATO, and China. I don't see too much difference, but there is a difference. But if you are my potential enemy, it's one thing. But if you are my target, you are my target right now.
So you say that we're still a target for Moscow?
Yes. Yes. The other thing is, if American side will concentrate all its efforts to deal with Mr. Medvedev, I think it's a waste of time because Mr. Medvedev doesn't have any political weight, any weight at all.
But wait a minute. The President of the United States says Mr. Medvedev is thoughtful, he's forward-looking, he's doing a fine job of running Russia. Those are the words of President Obama.
I can express my own opinion about Mr. Medvedev. I think that Mr. Medvedev, who never had any political experience, and he doesn't understand what politics are, you know. That's why the best thing is just to speak with some other people.
Well, some other people, you mean Putin?
Yes, Putin is not that much better than Medvedev, but at least Putin managed in the last 8 years build his mafia.
His mafia?
Yes, which is very obedient to him.
Yeah, those are pretty.
Because
I'm sorry, I was just saying we hear that all the time. How he's still has this iron grip on Russia. And how does the President of the United States deal with that?
It's difficult, but he's the President of the United States. He must deal with whatever regime, because we cannot neglect Russia. Russia is still a very important player in the world, but in my understanding it's a third world country with a lot of weapons, especially nuclear weapons.
Yeah, apparently there are like 20,000 nuclear weapons between us. Final point, we have just a minute. Look, there's been some progress. Russia just the other day allowed our military, an air corridor to support our efforts in Afghanistan. So there is cooperation, but there doesn't seem to be very much on Iran and stopping Iran's nuclear effort.
Absolutely.
Medvedev says he doesn't want any more sanctions.
Absolutely. First of all, this concession with Afghanistan, it's in the interest of Russia. Because Russia lost the world in Afghanistan, and right now, if Americans will defeat Afghanistan, it's in the interests of Russia. If you go to any other aspect of international relations, I don't know, Middle East, Latin America, Iran, South Korea, there is no productive dialogue between Russia and the West, and first of all between Russia and the United States of America.
Well, those are words of warning, chilling words in a sense. Sergei Tretyakov, who defected in 2000, one of the top diplomats at the United Nations for Russia, and a fascinating story and a fascinating book. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope that some of our leaders keep that in mind as they journey off to your old stomping grounds.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Jamie?
Still ahead.